Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how I broke up with a customer I've had for almost 2 years yesterday because of the disrespect. And I have sorted my thoughts out on ChatGPT. Hopefully this goes over well. I was thinking about it too because I really haven't told anyone about this since it happened. And you know, there's a lot of girls out there that will like FaceTime other girls to talk shit about people, but I'm just gonna organize it and tell everyone. The customer I've had at this club, he's very loyal, sort of. He was an Indian man. He was like 60 years old. He was married, 2 kids, the whole shebang. And for his job, I can't remember the full details. I think it was something with a tech company and then also a jewelry store. And same as the last video too, I said, oh, I don't want to shit talk anyone, but I feel like if I've closed the door on people, right, and they've done me dirty, it's perfectly fine. And I've closed the door on this man. Blocked, told him I never want to talk to him again. I'll probably see him again. So I'm going to tell you about all the details of this almost 2-year long, I don't know what the fuck. Part of the reason it was able to last so long too, even though he was very annoying and ugly and weird to be around, was because he would only come in maybe every month, every other month. He would always be taking these long trips with his family for work, whatever he did. And yesterday, actually, he's always offered me these like weird work opportunities. Yesterday he was talking about how he had a $60,000 budget to get a yacht in Miami and also rent a mansion and then bring 10 couples, well, so 20 people that were all his past clients. For what business, I'm not sure, because there's been parts of when I've known him where I just think he's talking shit, and then parts where I just don't really care whether or not he is, because it makes no difference. Because this man, every time he would come in, he would, it was the same pattern every time. He would come in, get his either bourbon or beer, and he would expect me to drop whatever I was doing, whoever I was talking to, and to come talk to him. And it would be like 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, of sitting with him and letting him run his mouth until he felt ready enough to maybe take me to VIP and then eventually do that. And he would have me dance for maybe like 1 or 2 songs before then, and he would make me wait until he was on maybe his 2nd or 3rd drink of whatever he was getting until we maybe did VIP, which we pretty much always did. And it really pissed me off because there was a point too in which I like questioned whether or not I wanted to keep working at this place, and I actually pushed through it, continued working, and I was able to move up to the, in my opinion, more desirable shift, which has made me a lot more money, and I have less interaction with people I don't want to be around. So very thankful for that. That happened. But before then, I would always have like a set amount of time that I could see him, and he would always come towards like the end of my shift, and he would eat up all of my time, and he knew this, and I felt like he was doing it on purpose to where I would just be stuck around him. And it was like, for our VIP, half an hour is $200, so he pretty much guaranteed that every time. But yeah, he would do the dance, and he would always say some shit about how, oh, you never do anything in VIP, or are you going to excite me this time? And this specific man too, it was never the sex that got him. I never fucked him, but like that was not what he needed. Like the whole time, every time I did like a 30-minute VIP, this man would talk about basically how successful he felt like he was and how to be successful in the world. And I felt like he always thought he was smarter than me, even though I was the one who took his money for almost 2 years. But his origin story, he came over from India, I want to say when he was 20, and I remember him telling me something about him like coming over here, sleeping in a car. Some guy noticed him sleeping in his car and then rented him out a room in his apartment, and then he had like very humble beginnings. I can't remember half the shit that he told me he did, but I do remember his sad story of having to, you know, work hard, and then he's at the point where he's at. When all this stuff was happening with the tariffs last year, oh my god, this man was like going crazy. Like there was a couple times he came in and he was so upset over the tariffs and he like could not be calmed down. Like the drunkest I ever saw him. It was right after the tariffs. And I think he told me he lost, I want to say like $1 million or $500,000. I couldn't even tell you because I just, like, some of it felt like it was true, but then some of it didn't. This man never tipped me. And obviously, like, he's Indian, he's stingy, and they're pushy with the sex stuff. Like, some of my best and worst at the same time customers are Indian men. I don't know what it is. The Indians like me. But yeah, he would never tip me, ever. And I think I asked him maybe one time, and his response was so negative, I never asked him again. But yeah, I never crossed any lines, and that's what he needed. He needed to talk to me for 30 minutes, tell me about his business problems, and then tell me about how to treat people in the world, even though, you know, he was directly trying to fuck me over every time he saw me. But how to treat people, just like, it's just like really, he wanted to take a mentorship position. I remember too, when I first met him, he tried so hard to meet me outside of the club, and I told him that for $1,000 I would. And I couldn't even tell you if I truly was going to or not. This was like a long time ago. This was a year and a half ago, towards the beginning of when I met him. And he had a girl too that he had been seeing consistently before me. And when he first met me too, he told me that I was like rough around the edges and unsophisticated, and basically he wanted to like improve me. Like I was his little like project or whatever. And he would always tell me that he could teach me how to like make so much money and how he had all this knowledge, and I really can't even replicate the way that he talks to me. I don't really, I remember, but yeah, I can't replicate it. And it was the same story every time. And the VIP, I'd sit on him, he would complain, then he would talk about how life is so great. It is like this like toxic positivity while, you know, he's drunk and whatever. And then he would always ask me to do something. It was either like a work event or it was trying to get me to go out on a date. And I learned maybe like half a year in that was just his thing. Like he just wanted the fantasy of dating me, even though he had a wife, which I brought it up many times. And that honestly is a line I would never cross because, you know, the men are men. They're gonna like go out and find other women to cheat on with. But the women, the ones that are married to the men, those, they fixate. They fixate hard. Like women hold a grudge for a very long time, and I would never want to be caught on the other side of that. I would never want to cheat on a married man and then have to like face the wife's rage. That's what I'm scared of. So yeah, I never met with him or anything. He gave me like fake jewelry one time. That pissed me off too, because it was silver jewelry. I only wear gold jewelry. Like, you've known me for this long. Like, it's like kind of obvious that girls have like a preferred color of jewelry they wear. And he got me, and he told me it was fake, so appreciate that. But also, he supposedly had a jewelry store, and it's like, if you had a jewelry store, like, and I'm supposed to be your top stripper, whatever, like, you can do better. But yeah, he would spend the VIP trying to, like, ask me out on these extravagant dates and then plan them. And then, I always said no. I mean, I'd let him talk and I'd let him, like, live it out in his head what he wanted to do, but I never did anything. Like, there was a Topgolf date he wanted to do. One time he wanted to take me to a really nice steakhouse, and then eventually he texted me something about this, like, cheap barbecue place around here. After we had talked about the steakhouse, it was bullshit. And then one time he wanted me to go to, like, some horse farm up north. Didn't do that. Hold on. The horse farm, back in January, he wanted, oh, I already said that. He wanted me to work a convention. There's just been all these, like, weird things he's asked me to do over the period of time I've known him. He would always push my boundaries, always, and he would be so disrespectful sometimes, too. Like, there's one time I went off on him, and I feel like he kind of liked it, but he was also, like, like, he hung out around white people too much, you know, like stuffy white people. He was just around them too much, and I feel like I think he found my bluntness refreshing, but I also think he looked down on me, and he also looked down on me being a stripper too. I remember, like, a specific scenario when he was talking about me working out in Arizona and, like, working his booth at the convention, which he said he wanted me to stay in a room with him and one of his either coworkers or employees, I don't remember, and he was gonna pay me, I think, $3,000 to come out there for a week. And then I, like, calculated everything. He was like, this is kind of bullshit. Like, this is not enough money to put up with that, and absolutely not to share a room with him, even if it was with another person. And the way he was talking about me being a stripper and how and his son was gonna be there too. Oh, God, I would date his son over him. But yeah, and he was talking about, like, it was like he was playing out in his head how he would introduce me to people and how that I was a stripper, but I had, like, a lot of potential. Even though the whole time I've known him, I've held a job. I worked for a lawyer, then a recording studio. I currently now work for a professional ballet company. And then I have my bachelor's too. It was like he always, like, wanted to knock me down a peg. So weird to me. And he would talk shit too about, like, me not drinking and me not being fun and never do anything. Like he wanted to, like, I don't know, peer pressure me, whatever. But yesterday it all shattered because I told him about wanting to get, because I told him about wanting to get my master's probably a month ago, and he said some, like, line about, oh, well, all you're gonna make is $70,000 a year. What are you gonna do with that? As if that was a bad thing. Like, that is a great salary. I don't know what his problem was. And even then, that's not all I want to do. I would figure out other ways to monetize it. And when I was talking to him yesterday, I was telling him about how I was starting it. It starts in 3 weeks. And I told him I was starting it, and I said that I could open my own practice one day. Like, my own private practice. And that's when he started being, like, really disrespectful and just saying weird shit to me. And he had, like, gotten off of a plane too. I couldn't tell you where he came back from. I don't know. He was always taking weird trips. I don't know what the fuck he did. I have no idea. I didn't care either, because it's like, why does it even matter to me what you do? Because you're already looking at me in this situation as less than you. You're never gonna tip me, so why would I care? He even told me he loved me, like, 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago. Oh, that was the other thing too. He made me cry one time because he said to me, he was like, wow, you've done this all on your own. Like, it must be so hard for you. And he says something about, like, how I have to, like, protect myself or something. And I cried because, not because he was so proud of me. I cried because that was the one time it felt like he even saw me, and he didn't even actually see me. And I've gotten so good at like just putting on this mask and being maybe not what people want me to be, but maybe what they need me to be. Because I'm not a fake person. I'm really not. But with his case, like, I could put on a mask and be what I needed to be in that moment every time I was dealing with him. But yeah, I do remember that. Fucking cried. Can't remember if that was before or after he said he loved me. I didn't say it back. I was just confused. I was so confused. I walked out of there and I told security, I was like, he just told me he loved me. And security said, well, he probably does. And I said, no, he knows what I do for him. And I think, too, that's what made it last so long. Like, I let him live out his delusions. But anyways, back to the straw that broke the camel's back. When I saw him yesterday and I was telling him all about my master's and all that, I actually had another customer there. And that one, he likes me a lot. He's new. I don't lie to anyone, though. Like, I really don't. If they want to believe they eventually have a chance with me, they can believe that I'm dating someone right now. I tell everyone that. I usually wait until after they've spent, like, a good amount of money, just so, you know, if I lose the money, then it'll be fine. But I don't lie to people. But anyways, that guy, he likes me. He was waiting on me. And I told my current Indian customer I was with, I said, okay, let me go tell this guy that I'm going into the VIP with you. Because he also wanted to take me later, but he's going to stay here for a while. And I want to, you know, be respectful of his time. And the Indian guy, he just lost it. And he was like, oh, that is such a turn off. And he was on his way to go get his second drink too. He literally said that he wanted to go to VIP then. And then he was like, actually, just kidding. Let me get a second drink. Like, it was always like a power game with him. Like, how much time of hers can I take and soak up and not pay and not tip and see? I just always felt like he was dangling money over my head. But anyways, he was like, you need to choose between him and me. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is my job right now. Like, he's been waiting for a long time. And because I said one thing, you're now going to act like this? And he went over to get his drink, told me that I needed to make a decision. I had a friend, too, come over who I hadn't seen for a while, and she hugged me. And I told her, I was like, this man is being so disrespectful. Like, she asked me if I was okay, and I said, just let me take care of this. And I just started, like, stewing. You know, it was like the whole almost 2 years were playing back to me. Every moment he, like, tried to disrespect me. Every moment he wanted me to kiss him. Every moment he, like, wanted to put a hand where it didn't belong. And I watched him, you know, sit down. And I'm real scary when I'm mad, too. Especially when I'm, like, boiling and there's clearly a lid over it. I just told him everything he was. I said, you know, I've known you, like, almost 2 years, right? And then I didn't scream right away. But I was looking at him. And I had never uttered, like, the words about him not tipping me. Because once he got angry, like, he would use it against me. So that's why I held everything in for that long. Because I didn't want to lose the money, but thankfully with me, you know, being promoted, you could say, now I make more money and I don't need him. And I feel like, too, because I mentioned the whole master's thing, and then he realized, like, maybe I'm a little smarter than he thought I was. And he realized I didn't need him. I think that's why he was giving me the ultimatum. And I just told him, I was like, you constantly push my boundaries. You're always asking me to do these work things for you. You always want to go out with me, even though you have a wife. You've never tipped me. Like, the whole 2 years that I've been here. I told him to go find another hoe for his yacht. Um, and I think he forgot about that. Like, he forgot that he was, like, coming to me with this need of needing some fun party girl on his yacht that he would have to pay to impress all of his, like, people. I think he completely forgot about that when he was dealing with me, as if, like, how he treated me wouldn't have consequences. And he would probably have to go find another hoe. And I did start, like, screaming at him. I don't really remember. It was something about me telling him how disrespectful he was and how to never text me again and how I was done with him. But yeah, I was full on screaming. Yep. Poking his chest with my finger and everything. Oh, the crazy thing was too, thank God I did this, but a while ago he wanted to follow my Instagram, so I let him, and he was following me from his jewelry store account. And when he was looking on his phone, he went to pull something up, and he went over to his Instagram, and all he typed in was like one letter, and it was the letter S. And it may be a letter E. I don't remember what he was searching up, but it was 2 letters that were in my name that weren't even, like, important letters. Like, and my name was the first one to pop up. And I'm so thankful I've hidden my story from him, because whenever I do have a obsessed customer, I will hide my story just so they don't see shit. Anytime I notice anyone who's, like, too crazy, then I hide it, because you don't need to know. But yeah, I was just shocked to see my name pop up. And then the other girl too that used to be his favorite, her story was the first one on his Instagram, and it's been the first one. Like, this man is just, like, obsessed. And then I just came to think, like, you know, he said something too a while ago, if I was half your age I would have married you, and he probably meant it. And I don't understand his obsession with the same people he wants to look down on. It's just weird. And I was just I was shocked to see. When I first met him too, the very first VIP I ever did with him, he tried to act like, because then I was real serious about singing then, and he tried to act like he knew people that he could set me up with and get me singing. Oh, he's taking a nap. Yeah, I got rid of him. I felt so much better after that too. And then that guy who was waiting on me, I told him everything that happened. Oh yeah, and when I was screaming at him too, I was like, you make me work so hard for your measly little $200 every time, and you take up so much of my time, and you're so disrespectful. And but yeah, I was telling the guy who was waiting on me everything that had happened, and he just handed me $200 on the spot. And I kept complaining about the previous guy, and he was like, you need to stop talking about this. It's like, okay, I'll stop. It's in the past. Yeah. I feel pretty good about that, actually. Because I'm good at saying when things bother me, but I'm not good at, like, the hard line of fuck you. That one's harder. Saying it in person's harder. Like, I'd rather do, like, a quiet fuck you, block you on everything than make you wonder, you know? But the screaming in a public place, oh god. I feel like you know when you're in a video game and you kill the last monster? That's what it feels like. The only reason I'm putting this video out there is because I need more watch time hours so I can make money from my YouTube. So I hope you guys made it all the way to the end. I hope this was entertaining for you. True story. Everything is a true story. Imagine being him and then... Because I don't advertise this YouTube, but imagine being him and then... seeing a 20-minute video about yourself. Okay, bye guys. I am the smarter one though.